Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another Cars 3 diecast review. Today, we have two custom mini Apple racers. Man, I am so excited for these. They look absolutely amazing. One is based on the stock car Apple Racer from Cars 1, and the one here on the right is based on the Cars 3 Next Generation Racer. And we have the two 155 scale diecasts in the background to compare them to later on in the video. But first, I want to thank the person who did the absolutely fantastic job on making these two. Joe's Minis. So awesome job, Joe. You did a fantastic job on these minis, and he does more as well. He's working on a Cruisin' McQueen brand new Mater, Cruz Ramirez as Francis Beltline, a monster truck Mater, and even more is to come as well. So if you want to contact him about getting one of these minis, like he has these for sale, although this one will be more limited, and I'll talk about why in a couple moments here, but his Facebook page will be in the description below along with his email address, so you can email him and inquire about something. Maybe he can do something specific to you as well. You just gotta ask him, and he has his Facebook account that you can contact as well. So the reason why the Jackson Storm base mini here on the right will be more rare is for that exact reason. It's based on the mini racer Jackson Storm, which so far has been pretty rare, whereas this one right here is based on the Cal Weathers mini racer, which is not as rare as Jackson Storm. So of course, if he finds more of Jackson Storm, then he can do more of the next gen Apple racers, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that many will be available. At least right now. Maybe in the future they will. But just so you guys know, if you want a next gen, you should probably get in touch with him as soon as possible because they will be limited. And there is a version with black rims and a version with white rims. I chose the black rims because it's more accurate to the movie. Now, before we get into the review of the Apple racers, I want to do a brief explainer for anyone who may be confused about the mini racers line. So Mattel introduced it with the start of all the Cars 3 diecasts and whatnot. Unfortunately, it hasn't been available at any major retailers yet, like Target, Walmart, Toys R Us, but according to Mattel, they will be available there soon. But so far, if you want to try to find them, you can try Best Buy, Kohl's, Walgreens, or maybe you'll find them at a random store, because I've heard people just finding them at a random grocery store like Kroger or something like that. But it's an awesome line. You can check out my videos that I've done on them in the past. I've done 3. And the links for them will be in the description below. My most recent video is on Mini Racers, Fabulous Lightning McQueen, and Florida Ramon. So those are definitely some of my favorites so far. And yeah, it's a great line. I'm so glad that they decided to do them. And for Joe, it's perfect because he loves them and he can do awesome customs on them as well. It's definitely his niche. It's his thing. So let's start with the stock car here from Cars 1. We'll put the next gen aside for now. Now there's a stock car from Cars 3, but that's not the look that Joe went for. He went for the Cars 1 version. So as you can see there on the screen, they look very similar. So great job on making it accurate to the movie. We'll compare the Mattel version to the Mini in a couple moments now. But Joe wanted me to mention a couple things about how he made the Mini exactly. So here is the Cal Weathers Mini that you can probably find at Walgreens, the stores that I mentioned. And so he used that model. He completely took the decals off, repainted it, and he could have also used a Murray clutch burn, but Murray is at the same rarity level as Jackson Storm. And as I just talked about with a Jackson, it's definitely a better idea to go with Cal Weathers because not many Murrays have been found in the wild just yet. Now, he took the body from Cal Weathers, but he did not take the wheels because clearly they are blue, and blue wheels would not look right on this white Apple racer. So he actually took Cruz Ramirez's wheels, which are absolutely perfect. So I'm very surprised that it actually worked out so well, because Cruz Ramirez, did she really have white rims in the movie? I think they were more gray, but on the Mini they're definitely white. So that worked out very well. And yeah, let's get into the actual, I don't know, appearance here, the diecast review of the decals and everything. So he changed the expression from Cal Weathers, which is very, very nice, very hard to do. So great job on that. You can see the eyes are different from Murray as well, if you were wondering. You have the 84 there on the headlight. You have the Apple logo there on the hood. On the side, he has his contingency sponsors, which are very small. Then you have 84 there. Now, he did not paint the windows, but he did on the next gen version. You can see that they're painted gray, so it's not a big deal that they're just painted white. It actually looks kind of cool. On the back here, you have the Apple logo there, 84. Another Apple logo, and then 84 on the roof with the roof flap. So very, very nice. And here's the base if you're interested. Now you might be wondering why there's like a glob of glue right there, and that's because he has to take the car apart. He has to remove the rivet, and then you can't really replace rivets, so you have to glue them back together. But yeah, you had to remove the base from the body so you can paint it and whatnot. Now let's compare this to the Apple Racer from Mattel, the 155 scale version. Now this, guys, is the real deal, legit Apple Racer from the Motor Speedway of the South set. I kind of messed up. So basically, I loaded my Motor Speedway of the South set into like this case. It's like a table case. It's kind of hard to explain, but basically on the table, I put stuff on the table that I buy before I put it away, and that table is absolutely full right now, so I'd have to take everything off the table and then remove the cover, and then remove the cover of the actual Motor Speedway of the South set, and then take the racer out, and then I have to put everything back in after the video. And that would just be for my custom version, because I put all of the Mattel like regular releases and my custom Apple in the Motor Speedway of the South set, because I was just too worried about putting the actual ones in there, because I was worried they get damaged, I dropped them, so I just kept them in the box that they're in right now. And I was just like, I do not want to take all that stuff off. So I went to the box, and I know that I had my Apple Racer on top. So here he is, guys. This is the first ever appearance of the real Mattel Apple Racer in one of my videos, and man, it looks absolutely awesome. So enough sidetracking, let's get back to the review here and comparison. So they're pretty spot on. You have the Apple logos there on the hood, 84 on the right headlight. Expressions are kind of similar. No light year on the tires, which is absolutely fine with me because Mattel didn't even do that with the actual racers. You can see that the contingency sponsors there match and everything in that straight vertical row. Excuse me, 84 there. Very, very nice. It seems like the Mattel version, like the decals are metallic silver, which is very cool. I didn't even know that before I took it out of the box just now. Man, my voice is starting to fade. What's going on here? Sorry if you guys hear my voice starting to fade. But anyway, they look spot on. Like there's no really difference or a different thing to mention about them. They have like all the same decals. And just so you guys know, if you don't believe me, well bam, there's the correct code that matches him to the Motor Speedway of the South set. So yeah, guys, I'm not lying, not trying to pull a fast one or anything. I have to handle that one very, very carefully. Do not want to drop him or anything. That would be a disaster. But anyway, let's move on to the next gen version, which I think I do prefer over the stock car one. And there are a couple things I want to mention about this. So Joe used the Meet the Cars book, the Cars 3 edition, of course, as inspiration to make this mini racer. He could have used the Art of Cars 3 book as well, but I guess he didn't have that. I just didn't know about it because it shows a much clearer picture. I'll show pictures from both, and I did do a kind of discussion about this in my review of the Cars 3 Next Gen Custom, which I keep, pointing to, and we'll get to it, guys. Don't worry, we'll get to it and compare them. But yeah, he did a great job. It looks very accurate to the movie. There's only one thing that he did not do, which is completely understandable, and we'll talk about that in a couple moments here. So he actually created the headlights here and the front intake, so the vents here on the left and right, completely from scratch. Those decals are pretty much like handmade, I guess you could say, like computer generated by him. And you can see that I couldn't have used Jackson Storm's headlights because they are like those super sharp vertical ones that wouldn't really be accurate to the Apple Racer. And Jackson doesn't have the vents there in the front. So awesome job on that. Of course, he did use Jackson Storm though as the body to paint. You can see he has the Apple logo there on the hood versus like igniter and anything like that. The expression looks pretty much the same. Yeah, I think that is the same. Of course, the Apple Racer has completely black rims, whereas Jackson Storm has black rims with a blue outline. So I think Joe removed this blue outline and then used these wheels for the Apple Racer, because I don't know of any other mini racer with completely black rims as of yet. So on the sides here, you have the contingency sponsors in that vertical list row. Same decal as on the stock car, which does make him inaccurate to the movie because the next gen from Cars 3 has like a different format, a different layout for the contingency sponsors. And we'll take a look at that on that version back there in a couple moments, but that's completely fine with me. It would have been hard to like make the new format. Then you have 84 right there. No Apple logo on the side, which is 100% accurate to the movie. There's something missing right here, which we'll get to when we compare to the 155 scale version. Gas cap right there. On the roof, you have 84 and the roof flaps. I like the painted windows. You have the Apple logo there on the spoiler, which I'm not entirely sure if that's accurate to the movie. I think it might be. And then Apple logo on the back here, which I'm sure in the movie there is one. 84 on the taillight, and nothing else. Here's the base. Very, 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 very cool. Lots of varies there, but this is an absolutely awesome custom. The paint is so smooth, it doesn't bubble at all. I don't feel like it's like easily chippable or anything like that. So just an awesome job from Joe's Mini. So now, guys, let's compare them to the custom from Jim Scavenger. If you'd like to see my review of this, you can check out the description below. Man, that was like one of my most popular videos of the past month. So thank you guys so much for the support on that. And thanks to Jim Scavenger for making it for me. But thanks to him, we are able to now do an actual comparison between the two. So they're pretty different, as you can see right off the bat. So the Apple logo on the bigger version here on the hood is just an outline. It's not filled in like the Mini, which is accurate to the movie, but in my opinion, this looks better. So it really depends on what you're going for. Are you going for accuracy, or you're trying to make something that looks cool? Either way, I think they're both awesome. On the side here, you have the new format of the contingency sponsors, so that's really how it should look, but again, no big deal. There you have 84, and then Apple logo, which is not in the movie, so this is inaccurate to the movie. There's actually just the circuitry here, which is not on the Mini Racer, because that would just be so difficult to do. Like, just imagine trying to make those decals, those little mini things, and like trying to weave them through and everything. That'd just be way, way too difficult. So it's not really a big deal they didn't add them. I'm sure that it might have even turned out kind of messy if he did. So not a big deal there. On the back here, you can see the number 84 decal below the taillight, whereas on the Mini, it's actually on the taillight. Now in Cars 3, there are no decals or stickers on any headlight or taillight because they're actually working lights. Whereas in Cars 1, they were just fake stickers of headlights and taillights, so they could have put more stickers on top of those, and that's exactly what they did. Like, for example, with the stock car Apple from Cars 1, you can see the number on top of the light there. But since they now have working lights, they can't do that. So that's one little thing about the Mini, but it really is not a big deal. I really don't care. So we haven't really gotten a full image of the back of the next gen Apple in a trailer. I haven't really seen it in the movie yet, and I've seen the movie 3 times, so I can't really tell you what's supposed to be on the back here and what's not supposed to be. I feel like there would be a little Apple logo, so maybe if there was like that Apple logo right there, and that the 84 was below the light there, I feel like that would be perfect. So I actually just looked at the pictures from the Art of Cars book, and there is no Apple logo on the spoiler, but I feel like that just makes it look so bland, so I'm glad that Joe's Minis added the Apple logo there on the spoiler. So I think that's it for the comparison. I feel like this review has been kind of all over the place because there's so much to compare between all these different Apple racers and trying to find out if the intricate little decals details are accurate to the movie and whatnot, so I do apologize for that. I don't mean to knock any of these customs because they are missing a decal that they have in the Art of Cars book or whatever. These customs, like all of them here, are absolutely gorgeous. Like, I can never do any of this. I'm just pointing them out because, you know, it's a review, and that's what I do for all my reviews. I mean, Mattel makes the same stuff all the time, so, you know, like, they make the same type of mistakes, but these really aren't mistakes. Like, you guys know what I'm trying to say here. I'm not, like, trying to knock these customs at all. They are the best customs I've really seen in a long time. So we're just going to put this one back here now so we can kind of get like a front and back view. Alright guys, so I believe that is all for the review here of these two custom mini Apple racers. Let me know in the comment section below which one is your favorite. I think actually I'm going to go with the stock car now after going through all the details with the next gen. I love the next gen, but I just like the stock car because it's so like classic, and especially since the Mattel version, the 155 scale version, was only in the Motor Speedway of the South set. And here are my custom Apple team, crew chief here, and Pity. And yeah, my Apple custom team is growing, so just, I love Apple stuff. Like, I have an Apple phone, Apple computer, Apple everything, so definitely right up my alley. So thank you guys so much for watching Joe's Minis. Awesome job, and thank you for making these customs for me. Now, if you guys want to buy them, like I said, they're great prices. I think he's selling them for around $18, so definitely ask him about it if you are interested. Just one of the best customizers out there. So I'll see you guys next time for another video. Bye now.